What's up, everybody? Adam here with the Etrailer. Today we have a 2021 Toyota RAV4, and we're going to be taking a look at the Hollywood Rack Sport Rider SE2. So this rack is one of my favorites just because 80 pounds per bike. 80 pounds per bike. That's crazy compared to all the other ones that we have. So this isn't really going to limit you on any of those heavier bikes that you have. You can do the e-bikes like you have here, or you can do fat tire bikes because our cradles are going to give us a maximum width of 5 inches. So that's pretty much any fat tire bike. So if you're looking for a heavy duty rack, this is what you got. This is going to be the best option for you. If you do have some carbon fiber frame bikes, we are going to have a frame hook, so it is going to make a little bit of frame contact, so you don't want to use it with carbon fiber bikes. This is more the big boys when it comes to bikes and capacity. When it comes to wheelbase, about 60 inches down on these cradles. One, I like these cradles because they're metal. It's really cool, and it kind of sinks down in there, so it's nice and stable. But as we loosen this wheel and we give it a little bit of love, she'll slide along that little tube, which is going to give us a maximum wheelbase of 60 inches, which is pretty much every single bike that I've ever had. So no limitations there. And this is only going to let us, do 2 bikes on there. So if you're looking for one that, if you need a little bit more than just 2 bikes, you can go ahead and grab another one on our website. But let's go ahead and take a look at these features. We can tilt these with the bikes installed. And to do that, what we got to do is go down here, and there's going to be a little pin that we can pull out. And it is connected by a cable. I like that because I lose things. And then we can pull this out and tilt it away. It's always hit or miss when it comes to if we can open up the rear hatch with the bikes on there. All it really comes down to is just how wide your handlebars are. But with this e-bike, we are actually good. I didn't have to really help it out at all. It just went right up. We had plenty of room. So you don't have to worry about taking your bikes off, taking the rack out to be able to still use your RAV4 back hatch. So that's always awesome. We're not really limiting ourselves by putting this on the back of our vehicle. We're just enabling ourselves to carry 2 bikes. So once that's done, all you got to do is lift it up. It will snap into place, but we will have to replace this pin. Just like that. And if you do have wider handlebars, the spread between both of our bikes is going to be about 10 inches. So what you really want to do to avoid that problem altogether, just have the handlebars on this side and make sure you put your heavier bike towards the vehicle, and then you can have the handlebars on the other side whenever we load up this bike right here. But enough about loading bikes, let's take them off. I always start down low, and all we need to do is press this little tab on the other side, slide this up. And we do have a little sleeve, which is going to protect our bike wheels from getting scratched. Do that first, just because it doesn't really hold the bike upright. It just limits the vertical movement. So now that that's done, we do need to put a hand on our bikes, just so it doesn't fall towards the vehicle. And you're really going to need to take this one all the way up, and then go ahead and slide this one up. And then you can take the bike off. This is the more difficult of the two, obviously, because we have to avoid the center mast, but it is doable. So now we can take a closer look at the frame hooks. I like the fact that we have locking cores on them, so we don't have to buy them separately. They come with it, and we have keys with a kit. So fresh out of the box, once you assemble this thing, your bikes can be locked without having to buy anything else. I like that a lot, and whenever you get your bike on, just goes like that. Super easy and simple. We do have a little bit of foam on the top, so it's not going to scratch your bikes at all, so that's always a plus. So let's just say that we are done with bikes. We took them off, but we want to leave this on here. So what we want to do is we can take this little pin and fold down that center mast, and then replace the pin like that. Because now what we can do is we can fold it up towards the vehicle. But first, I want to give you a measurement from the bumper to the reflector at the back. It's about 22.5 inches. but we can cut that down a little bit just by pulling this little knob here. We can start to lift it up, and it should snap into place just like that, and we're good to go. And that's going to bring it all the way down to about 14 inches, which is pretty good. It's not a whole lot, and it is going to set off some of our sensors, but that's with any bike rack. It's going to set off your sensors, and you're probably going to see it a little bit in the back, but that's just kind of how it goes when you're using a bike rack. So coming down to the shank, what we do need to have for us to be able to use this is a 2-inch hitch receiver. Well, one thing I like about this shank, one, it's straight down here, but where the bikes sit, it's about 7 inches taller. So just to give you an idea of the ground clearance, it's about 11.5 inches from the ground to the bottom, but there's about 7 inches from there from where your bike sits. So I don't think we're having any issues bottoming out. Another thing I like about this shank is it has a little stopper, so you don't have to worry about trying to line it up and get everything going. And it's a lot easier to get this bolt through just because you just simply push it on through. We have a locking cord on the other side that's going to be key to like, but then all you have to do after that, you just tighten this down, and then this is going to be your anti-rattle device. So you don't need a tool or anything like that, which I like, just because all you need is your hands and they're always with you, right? So that's always nice. And you can kind of see what the anti-rattle does. It literally just makes this bike rack one with the hitch, so you're not going to see any, you're not going to hear any noise, and your bikes aren't going to feel any of the rattling just from that loose connection. So all in all, this is the bike rack for you if you have heavier bikes. It really is the highest capacity rack of all the ones that we carry here. So it's going to cover all those bases for you. And that's basically it for a look at the Hollywood Racks Sport Rider SE2 on our 2021 Toyota RAV4.